Jenny, I apologize because I don't have all your credentials, but I know we're all excited to hear from you. We love you. We can't wait to hear what you have to say about what's going on at the library. Here's Jenny.
Yay!
Yay!
Well, thanks, Vicki. So, and it's nice to see you all. So if you're wondering what's been happening at the library, it's been very strange here. Just because getting together and sharing items and air is sort of what libraries do in a lot of ways. So we couldn't do that. It's like precisely the thing we couldn't do for quite some time. Right now, so we had to think of different ways of reaching people, different materials, new services, kind of reimagining what standard services like book lending or summer reading, our summer reading club for kids, what that would be all about. But what I'd like to share with you is sort of services that you can take advantage of from the library anytime, anywhere you have an internet connection. Our digital services, and it's been huge the past couple months. This, just for a visual representation, this is about 150 new library cards that people have opened since we closed to the public a couple months ago, mostly through our online card activation form. In the chat over here, I'm going to put a few useful links in there, which includes the library's webpage, our book pickup request, because we're doing a pickup service now. It's actually live and in person now. People are stopping by and picking up bags full of books that they've requested earlier this week. So there are your links, and I'm going to start sharing my screen so I can show you what these services look like. Oh, it's given me a warning here that the host has disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, let me fix that.
Okay. While he's working on that, I can, oh, yeah? I can tell you at least about the last link that's in there. It's the library browser extension in the chat. What this does is, let's say you're looking in Amazon or you're looking for books and ebooks, this automatically, it's a extension to your browser if you're using Chrome or if you're using Firefox. It's a browser extension that will automatically search your local library and say, hey, I know you're about to buy this book. Did you know that you could borrow it? So it's kind of an alternative to, I don't know, purchasing something. You know, you could borrow it instead. So that's really fun. Let's see. Okay, now I can share my screen. So I'm going to do that. Okay, can you all, whoa, can you all see what I see?
No. Oh, wait, it's coming up.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, great. So what you're looking at here is our the library's website. And if you want to know more about what's going on at the library, this is a great place to start. Here, you know, here's our ad for books on the go, for book pickup, how to get books for pickup. Let's see. Recently, we did, if you're looking for books about diversity, inclusion, racism, and anti-racism, we have a whole bunch of places to get started. This is not an exhaustive list, but it's a really good starting place. Let's see, we're doing, we're just, if you want to know about stuff going on, upcoming events, like our online journaling class, that sort of thing, that's happening. And there are instructions for how to register yourself for that. So that's a good place to get started. But if you click in the upper, do you see where I'm hovering here where it says online catalog? You go there, it'll take you here. And you can log in. This is our online catalog. And when you get here, this is really fun. These two carousels show you what recently came back, what was recently returned, and the newest items, the newest additions to the collections. And this is really interactive. Let's say you wanted to know more about the book Oneida, which is fascinating. If you're into American utopias, that sort of thing. Really interesting. So you click on the cover and it takes you to sort of an Amazon-like profile. You get a nice summary for the book. Let's see, what else? Title notes, you get a little bit more here. You can see who has it and if it's available. So if you wanted to read all about the Oneida community there, you could borrow this. You could place a hold on this item from this screen. And I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. But the cool thing is, if you're interested in this book, you can also find out, more about other books that you might like. Kind of very interactive and very visually based, that sort of thing. So let's see, if you wanted to place a hold on this item, you need to log into your account. And I'm just going to log into our sample account here. Okay. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay. Interesting. I thought I just set that up, but I'll log into my own. So you can see everything that I have out at the moment, and you can see that even I have overdue items. But let's say I wanted to place a hold on an item. I can search, I'll look for a book I really like. The Name of the Wind. And I will search in all libraries. You can place holds in items from any of these collections and have them delivered to the McCullough Library. So I'm going to search all libraries for this book. So great. So these came up, and you can see on the right-hand side of the screen the cover. And let's say I'm looking for the most recent printing. So this book is in Brattleboro at the Brooks Library, but it's checked out. If I wanted to be next in line for that book, I would click up here on Place Hold, and that book would, when it's returned, be rerouted to North Bennington via a courier system that comes twice a week. So it's about a week or so after an item is checked in that it is rerouted to North Bennington, and we'll let you know when it's here. One other cool thing about the online catalog, do you see these links here? you know, magicians, fiction, magic fiction. If you click on any of these subject headings, it takes you to all the other books in the collection. I guess 5 have anti-heroes in fiction, and films, all of that sort of thing. So it's pretty dynamic, and it's really easy to have items show up here from any of those 19 libraries. You know, interlibrary loan is active again, so after being on hiatus for like 2 months. So you can have your stuff show up. You can also, if you're at your in your profile, you can also make purchase suggestions as well. So there you go. Let's say there's a new book that you really want. In your profile, you can look for your purchase suggestions. You can create a new purchase suggestion for books, movies, whatever it is you're looking for. So that's kind of how it does. That's the overview of the basic functions in there. Let's say you wanted to use a different service and get digital books, ebooks, and digital audiobooks for free with your library card. That is through GMLC here, the Green Mountain Library Consortium. And I've already logged in as a sample account. And I'm just going to show you a few really simple ways to find content. There are, gosh, 3,000, something like that, available books right now, which is huge through this. And it's instant, as you'll see. So you can find, this is the Vermont Reads book. We'll be doing this a little later in the year through the Humanities Council. So interesting book, and copies will be available through Overdrive. If you wanted to getting started with this, I'd recommend, if you're using a tablet or your phone, to download the Libby app that looks like this. And because they're going to be switching to solely app-based in a few years, so I'd recommend getting ahead of that and just go with the app for your phone or tablet. So Libby and Overdrive are the same thing, but it's really interesting. The librarians who volunteer their time to put these collections together sort of rearrange them in clusters if you're looking for certain topics. So interesting stuff. You can see with the little headphones icon, it's an audiobook, or with the little book, it's an ebook. And you can see if something's available right now. If you want to borrow, so you want to talk about race and listen to it, you could borrow it right now and listen to it immediately. And if it doesn't suit, you can return it immediately. It's instant gratification and no risk. It's kind of a nice way to preview books if you maybe even want to preview a book before borrowing it from the library. So yeah, so they have books on, kind of collections on topics, digital displays of different books. And for all ages. Some of our top circulators are books for children. This is kind of the preferred format for a lot of parents and kids right now. Yeah. So, as you can see, it's pretty interactive. Okay, my very favorite way to search for books in here is to go through to collections. I'll go to audiobooks and available now. I'm a huge audiobook fan. I don't think I'd get anything done on the weekends if I didn't have something to listen to. So, and you can sort these by popularity, but my favorite way to sort things is by date added. So you can see the most recent editions. And you can see that there are children's books and books for adults sort of all lumped together. There are good ways of sorting that. So let's say you're just looking for general adult books, and there are over 2,000 of them available. And you could borrow any of these audiobooks. Just let's see if there's something that I know is really, really good. Okay. Oh, Dana, here you go, Le Carré. So let's say we wanted to borrow this book or find out more about it. You click on the cover, and it'll give you the whole description. You can listen to a sample, and you can borrow it, and it's borrowed. So you can listen to it in browser. Let's say you're using your computer. You can listen to it in another browser tab as you're doing other things, or you can download it to your device and it will stay there for 7 days or 2 weeks, depending on what you select for your loan period. And then it will disappear from your device. No fines, no fees, no obligation. And the next time you borrow that item, it saves your place. So you can pick it up right where you left off. It's automatic. The ebooks have, I think they have a dictionary built in, a few other features that are very similar to what Kindle offers, but this is free and no obligations. So after you borrow something, it moves to your bookshelf, and there it is. Everything you've borrowed is right in there. If you wanted to borrow something that someone else has out at the moment, you can place a hold on it, and you will be notified via email when it's available. And you have a couple days to pick up your hold, basically. It works just like physical books. I use this service constantly. I think the last item that I was listening to was Candy Freak by Steve Almond. And he talks about sort of his own obsession with candy and the manufacturing process. And it's part memoir. It's weird and it's really fun. So, and how he kind of, there's a bit of self-loathing in there, I think, about his relationship with candy. And it's just, it's funny. It's very funny. And it's a little sad. So, but I don't know, keeps me going. So that's Libby. And the most exciting thing that I can share with you today is a new database that was very generously funded by the Fund for North Bennington. And the pandemic is, you know, it's changing, it has changed, and it will change the way people work. And it will change how people, the skills that people will need in the future and need now to find different ways of making money, finding different ways to start their own business, using this time perhaps between jobs to develop skills that will make them a more competitive employee. And clear up some things like, hey, I don't know how to do everything in Excel, but it sure would be great to know how to use this time. And so Linda is our new, oh my gosh, there we go. Linda is our new database, our new resource that we can share. It's, it ties in with LinkedIn, which is the professional networking, social networking site. So you can show your the different certifications or the different courses you've taken on LinkedIn. So it's a good way of advertising that you're skill building. I know a little bit more about X, Y, and Z. So I'm all logged in, and in the links that I sent in the chat, if you want to get login for information for any and all of these services, there's an easy Google form that you can fill out, and I'll get back to you with all your login information and login instructions, so you can get right in here and get started. And this is a great resource to share with your family, your kids, your grandkids, your colleagues, anybody local can get a card with us, and it's absolutely free. So let's see, I'm going to register for a course. Oh, this was one that sounded fun. I looked for nonprofit management foundations. Let's go there. So it gives you an overview. It tells you how what your obligation is in terms of time, a transcript. I don't know if that's complete transcript, but view it offline. Oh, okay, so you can download these if you want to, if you don't have constant access to Wi-Fi, for example. And there are, a few files associated with this as well. So if you wanted to take this course, you could add it to your playlist. I'm gonna add this to my playlist and the course. So I could, all right. So now that course is added to my playlist, and I could view that anytime. There are videos, and they're really broken down into topics. Well, usually, if you're learning software. But let's see. Okay. Right, okay, so it's bookmarked to different topics within nonprofit management. If you wanted to know more about recruiting and retaining talent or working with volunteers, you could skip ahead, save yourself a little time. And this is a tremendous resource. I think we're the only library in Vermont who currently offers this resource. It's pretty top shelf, and I just want more people to know about it. So I've been trying to get the word out. But and the response has been very strong, but we can always have more people use this. We have unlimited access until like mid-May next year, and you can use these on your LinkedIn profile to say, I have at least watched these videos and completed this course. I am at least familiar with issues within nonprofit management. So that's that's what we're offering. So how am I doing on time? I feel like I've just been talking a lot.
It's about 5 after 4, Jenny.
5 after 1.
5 after 1, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Let me, if you want to start taking questions possibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me switch things around and get folks unmuted. I guess we could stop sharing the screen, and if we need to go back to it for now, to answer some questions, that can certainly be done, okay?
Yeah, okay, so I just stopped sharing the screen.
Okay, I will unmute everybody. Okay. Questions?
Jenny, Doug Kraus. I have a question about the borrowing period. How long can the book be borrowed, and can it be renewed?
Well, for new items, the borrowing period is 2 weeks. If nobody else wants that item, you can, using your login with the catalog, you can renew your items right there. Or you can call. Either way, happy to do it. And you can renew, older items are 3 weeks, and you can have up to 2 renewals. So you could have something for 9 weeks. DVDs are 2-week loan, no renewals, but call. I can usually check it in and check it back out to you if nobody else wants it.
Thank you.
Mine is more of a comment than a question. So I have been using the Libby to listen to audiobooks, and it is instant. It's so cool. And I kind of did exactly what Jenny just described. I took out a book, started listening, wasn't what I wanted, returned it, got a new one immediately. And I didn't pay attention to the limit of time I could have a book the first time I did it, and all of a sudden, poof, it was gone. But I rechecked it out. When it showed back up, I was thrilled that it was right where I left off, because I had no idea. I was like, oh no. But it works great. And it does, when you're walking or doing chores, just to be hearing a story, it's great.
So Jenny, I have a question.
Yeah.
Cindy uses Overdrive a lot, and sometimes books become available and they send an email, but it doesn't show up, so it's probably in our junk mail. And I was wondering who the sender is for those online, Overdrive emails, so that we could look for them by the sender name.
I believe I would look for Overdrive.
Okay.
I don't have an example that I could show you, but I would look for, I would look for Overdrive. I think that's there. Or Libby, if you're using the Libby app.
We're not using the Libby app.
No, we'll try Green Mountain GMLC too and see if it comes from that. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Overdrive.
Okay.
At least that's in the subject line. So it should show up when you search your junk mail.
Okay, great. Thank you.
One final thing that I want to mention is, the Libby, the Linda is really pretty fantastic. I know, Jenny, you've been trying to roll that out to some other organizations in town that are doing workforce development. I mean, this is really high quality, the best, probably second only to taking a real college class in software development, design. What organizations have you rolled it out to, and what has your response been?
Well, the Tutorial Center picked right up on it. I think UCS is picking up on it. I've reached out to the chamber. The young professionals picked up on it. I haven't heard back from the chamber or the Department of Labor, but try again. So, but
Bennington College as well, right?
Oh yeah. Gosh, thank you. Geez, I'm glad I tell you lots of things. So, so Bennington College is rolling this out to students. They're kind of keeping in touch. And so I made a special thing like, hey, yes, if you're a Bennington College student, you can get a card with us. You can use this library. You can use this resource in this time where we're just like, well, what are we going to do with ourselves? Let's use it to, rather than dwell, skill build, when, I don't know, my mom always told me, like, when you're nervous or scared or frustrated, like, try learning something new. It just takes your mind sort of off of it and helps give you a better set of tools to deal with whatever the impact of whatever it is you're dwelling on comes to fruition, I guess.
Jenny, if I have a membership, can my son or my husband access Linda through that, or do they need to get their own cards?
Well, it depends on how much you want to share. But everyone is welcome to
So
open an account.
Their own.
Yeah, and that link in the links in the chat, the account activation form, that just brings you to a really simple Google form. I'll go through, set everybody up, and email them their login information.
Okay, because they have the old school library cards, but you'll just.
We're kind of so small, we don't even issue physical cards. So, I mean, you know, what kind of library are we? We're fine free and we don't list, you know, issue cards. It's just sort of, let's, you know, let's think about access and providing resources rather than these conventions that I think tie us down a little bit.
Awesome.
Well, thanks. Rod?
I am somewhat familiar, Jenny, with this, and I appreciate your really great tutorial on all that's offered. I used to drive back and forth to Orlando. My wife got to fly, and I would check out mysteries because that was the most engrossing thing. And, you know, a 12, 14-hour mystery MP3. And it made the time go by just fast as can be. So it's a good service, and I look forward to looking to see what all this is about, what you have.
Yeah, well, welcome. Yeah, the audiobooks just make so much drudgery less, you know, tedious.
Yep.
Rod, you live in Pownell, but there is no residency restrictions. So yeah,
Right.
no fee for people who don't live in Bennington, North Bennington. So absolutely, dig in.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Jenny, for that. That was awesome. All kinds of good stuff there.
Well, thanks.
Thank
So-
you, Jenny. That's great.
Yeah, maybe somehow you can get a summary of these sites and so forth out on email.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I copied the information that you put in the chat onto a Word document that I can, you know, send out. And Jenny, if there's any additional items that would be worthwhile, sites, links, if you could send them to me or Dana, I can incorporate that and send it out, you know, club-wide, okay?
Sure, and here, I'm just gonna put my my email in the chat. So if you if you'd like to sign up for our e-newsletter, which is like once a month usually, twice a month when we're totally closed and we need to stay in touch. But feel free, I'd be happy to sign you up for our e-newsletter, which has a lot of stuff in it.
Anything else for Jenny or?
I appreciate her coming very much.
Yeah, thanks, Jenny.
Yay.
Welcome.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see as many of you as we can tomorrow, and our first in-person social next Thursday at the museum.
Hey,
Vicki and I don't have bells, but we can
No, we
certainly
don't have bells.
ring our virtual